Well, hello. We're starting. This is Therese, and we are starting this recording. And I'm just going to jump right into what is going wrong. Here's what is happening for you. And thank you for my little helpers that are letting me know what's working and what's not working. So, yeah, technology, this is a brand new platform for me. So, woohoo, can we give me a woohoo for even trying it? Like, yeah, thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Whew. Okay, alrighty. So here's where it breaks down and why it's really critical to look at this piece of it, right? You might not have owned your brilliance. So you can be really good. And if you ever feel like you're the best kept secret around, does anybody ever look at your peers or your colleagues and go, I'm 1,000 times better than what the heck? Like, they're making that? Is that just me, or even anybody else done that? Yeah. So you might not have really owned what you do, the value of it. Another thing that probably is happening is that your messaging might be kind of weak. So a lot of times people have something that's so, I work with a lot of people that are in kind of the transformational space. It's so easy if you're just like a plumber. You're like, I fix toilets. I take them out, I fix them. You know what I mean? Like, that's an easy thing to understand. The hard part is when you're in a transformational space or you're selling services that are like little esoteric or harder to pin down. So your messaging might not be working. Or maybe your marketing's not right. Maybe your marketing is just, you're not in it. You're just not doing it enough or not doing it right. Or, and probably all of these, you don't have the right mentor, right? So those are generally the problems why people hit those income plateaus or where they're stuck. But the biggest one, you know what the biggest one is? It's inner game. It's inner game. See, I've been teaching this. Well, let me just give you a little background. I had my own practice as a psychotherapist for 25 years. As I always say, don't be scared unless I'm trying to date you. Then you should be really scared. Dating a former therapist? Oh goodness. Anywho, so I was a therapist for 25 years. In 2001, I moved into life coaching, and it was awesome. But it was like, from therapy to life coaching is like, blip, it's not a big jump. And then one day, I don't know about you, but I really believe that our souls guide us. They guide us to the next place. I think we have a thing we're supposed to do in our life. So here I was, a life coach. I have a degree. My undergrad is in criminal justice. And yes, I did work in a prison. Thank you very much. I was a prison guard. Claim to fame. I worked in psychiatric hospitals. I worked with drug addicts. And then I was a therapist. So, yeah, really, what makes me think I'm going to be a business coach? I saw an ad for business coaches. And it was like, you ever remember those moments where your soul's like, shut up and do it? Do you ever have that? So I applied for this business coaching job. Now, what you have to know is I had never read a business book. Last time I worked in a business was when I was 18 at an insurance company, and I sucked at it. I was horrible. I was a receptionist, horrible. And so I had no business experience. It's something that like literally pulled me, and I'm filling out an application, and then the next day I'm hired and I'm a business coach. Have you ever had one of those, holy crap? Like, what? Imposter syndrome? Feeling like a fraud? So I started about 59 miles before the starting line. I had to not only learn how to business coach, but I had to figure out how to do all those things I talked about. I had no idea how to sell, no idea how to market myself, package myself, like message what I did. I got good at coaching, but what happened is that I actually had a chip on my shoulder because I used to say, oh, I was only a therapist. I'm sorry, I was only a therapist. Well, today, what's crazy is that the people that hire me, my credibility actually comes because people go, that mindset stuff? Oh my God, I'm hiring you because you used to be a therapist, because you know all that mindset stuff. It makes people feel safer. So think about that. The thing that I was apologizing for, the thing that I felt less than for, chip on my shoulder, what? That's actually one of my greatest strengths. So the reason I get to teach this today is because I messed it up so badly. My mindset, like, holy heck. Some people say, I got to 6 figures in 6 months. Well, it took me like 6 years, 7 years, I don't know, lots of years, because I had to learn this. So I believe my soul learned this because I got to teach it. This is mine to teach. Can we get like an amen? Can we get like, woohoo? Awesome. Alrighty. Let's get started. So what you need to know, so we're going to talk about the energy part of it. We're going to talk about the emotions part of it. We're going to talk about the alignment part of it. I'm going to give you lots of tangible, practical tools. And I'm really, really not directing you. This is not a preview call. This is not like, take this and sign up for my such and such program. What I will say is if somebody is interested in having a conversation to see about individual coaching with me, I'll show you how to do that. But this is not a selling call. If I just be really honest, I've been banging my list with a lot of marketing. I've been like hitting you with like giveaway. And I thought, I've been sending a lot of emails, and I thought I just want to give something. So that's what this call is. It really is from the heart. Like, let me just give you some tools, give you some tips. Are we good with that? You good? Good. Okay. So imagine if I had a picture of an iceberg here. And an iceberg has like 95% is under the surface and 5% is what you can see in the top. That's the model we need to work from. Because research shows that, and this is really bad, 5% is what you consciously get to control. That sucks. That's really scary, because that means what drives you 95% of the time is A, unconscious, or B, not even yours. What? Very often people are driven or motivated or take action by stuff that is not even of their choosing. And so the work I do, I say you want to make the unconscious conscious. So what I do is we go in and we find that stuff and we clear it. The more you're understanding this, like, is this mine? Is it somebody else's? Is it, so I'm going to show you how to do all that stuff. But that's what you got to get, right? So there's so much that is hidden. Remember the iceberg, so much is hidden under here that what's happening is that you're kind of a victim. And like, who wants to be a victim, right? Like, that's the worst word in the world. I'll give you a little case study. Somebody I was working with, love this woman, so talented. She's one of the smartest coaches I know. So talented. And a few years back, this is a true story, she actually spent $30,000. She just looked and said, that's it, I'm going to grow my business. She got everything. She got, new photos. She worked with a branding specialist. She worked with a copywriter. She worked with a super high-end mentor, And she made, can we see a zero? She made not a dime. And when she came to me, she was like, oh, crap, I forgot to work on the mindset piece. See? So what most people do is most of us work on the outside. That's easy. It's like so much easier to I just think I should just pin some boards. I just should go on Twitter. Oh, you know what? I got to do some research. I got to do research. I got to be on Facebook. You know what? I can't do anything until that logo is just right. Oh, no, I should probably research for blogs. That's what I should do. And again, all those things are important. All of those externals are important. But without this inner game stuff, you will not grow. Say, I will not grow. So somebody says it's easier to do the tangible stuff and procrastination than it is to do the stuff inside. Exactly. That is the challenge. And, a while back, many years ago, there was a book called The Road Less Traveled. This is the road less traveled. When I work with my clients, I kind of say, it's not, I'll just say it. When I coach you, yeah, of course I want you to have a business. Of course I want you to make shit tons of money. Would y'all would like shit tons of money? Boatloads, shit tons, however you want to call it. But what I want is transformation for you. I want you to become a better person. I want you to become the best version of yourself, because that's the ripple effect. We've all seen people that have a boatload of money and suck as humans, and they have horrible family relationships. They do damage. I don't want this just for the money. I want you to have the experience of wahoo, I am so aligned with my purpose. Everything's improving. Seriously, I'll just tell you this. I have clients that have spent probably 2 years with me and have not made up, let's say they've spent $20,000 with me. They've not made that the monetary piece of it, but they write me the most glowing testimonials. They're the happiest clients ever because everything in their life has changed. So they know that the money is coming. It's just a measure. But the who they are, their relationships have changed. Their health has changed. Their life has changed because they've done the inner work. Can we get like a whoo-hoo for that one? That's a big one, right? So that's what I want you to know. Where we're working is in the unconscious and in the energy and in the world of the inner space. I also do strategy. You come to me, we do both. But this is the really super, super fun one. Okay, so somebody says, oops, hold on a second. This is flying kind of fast. Let me just read this. I can't read it. This is a really nice quote. Oh, I can't read it. Anyway, okay, thank you for what you just said. I just can't read it. It went too fast. Okay, so here's what I just did a talk last week in Denver, and one of the things that people just loved is when I would say this: your mind is not your friend. Now say it with me. My mind is not my friend. Say it again and do this. My mind is not my friend. Ooh, yeah, I love it. So I get to see all these people. It's so fun to see y'all doing this. Thank you. And here's why I tell you that. Your brain is wired to protect you. There is absolute resistance. Does anybody ever do stupid stuff and you go, like what? Like, you're not dumb. That could be like, you have a huge opportunity and then you just procrastinate and you forget. Or you're ready. I'll give an example. I had a colleague one time, had a huge speaking gig, like massive speaking gig. And the weirdo goes out and gets completely drunk the night before, is hungover as hell the next day. She's just like, really? That's resistance. That's sabotage. Nobody wakes up and says, it's Thursday. I think I'll create some problems and mess things up for myself. That would be fun. Nobody says that. But your brain, every time you get to like that next level, every time you push past what you are wired to see and achieve and be, your brain's going, oh, hell no. I use the word gremlin. Some people could call the other words for that. I just use gremlin, brain, unconscious. So what happens is there's a little thing in the center of your brain called the reticular activating system. And that's the thing that holds, that's like the filter, right? So if you were raised, let's say you had a daddy who was like, you know what, little girl, you are so awesome and you are so loved and you are going to have men that treat you fabulously because you are sister, you're worthy of so much good, and only good men get, I don't know, but I didn't get that one. So that's what you would find. But if you were raised with a dad who just said, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you're like, whatever, or whatever the thing was. I had a client actually, her family's message was, oh, you're the pretty one. You're the pretty one. Your sister's a smart one. You're the pretty one. You'll just get married. Some man will take care of you. So guess what her experience was? See, so whatever we're raised with, whatever our culture or our gender or sometimes our religion or our ethnicity or even our geography, where we're living, it affects us. It actually has it. It's like it's wired. You get to see X. So if you are wired that you experience poverty, if you're wired that life is a struggle and women don't make a lot of money and people with money are bad, oh my God, why would you want to be like them? Filthy money, greedy bitches. Ugh. If you're wired with that and then you're like, I think I'll make $100,000 this year, yay. Your brain's going, oh, hell no, not safe. See? So the goal is to understand, like, there's so many forces. I'm not trying to scare you, but there's so much in there that kind of works against you. And so when you understand it and you can kind of like go, oh, wait, maybe that's not true. Holy crap. Could it be not true? Alrighty then. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So what you understand is that you will be hijacked if you don't understand all this. See, there's like a set point, and what I do is we just keep blowing that past because we find what is blocked and we move it and release it and release it. So it's literally you create a new future for yourself. Is this cool? Yay. And thank you, Irina. Thank you. She said you're awesome in Denver. Mwah. God bless you. That was so much fun. Oh man, that was fun. Wowza! I'm glad you're here. Hey, cool. Okay, so I want to do something. I want to show you how to determine. This is my muscle testing. Yay! We're gonna get to see it in person here again. So the way to determine, I got a lot to teach you today, but this is probably my top tool. I will tell you, this is not my creation. This is called self-muscle testing. Have you all seen like where, so you push the arm? Okay, you can do it by yourself. You can't like push your own arm. But if you just YouTube, like you can run the whole world YouTube, right? Does anybody know that? You could just YouTube how to self-muscle test. There's many ways. Some people do like what's called an O-ring. Some people have a pendulum. They use pendulums. Some people do a thing like this. I actually stand up and face north, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Because you need to understand if you're blocked or not. So I'm going to work you this part of it really fast, okay? Okay. And here's why we do this. Remember what we said, the number one thing is your brain is what? Not your friend. Your brain is not your friend. Your brain's going to lie to you. Your brain is like a sneaky little bitch. It's going to lie to you. I just did I'm teaching a course, a selling course right now, and I'm teaching mindset, this part of it. And I gave them a worksheet that said, okay, answer all these beliefs. Like, what do you believe? And there was like 28 beliefs, like, I can easily sell my services, money comes easily to me, blah, 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 blah. Just answer it based on what you believe. Now let's really test. See, when you muscle test, you find the truth. There's a difference between what you think you believe. Because if I'd say, hey, Stephanie, Deb, Darla, do you believe that you deserve? Well, everybody's going to go, but of course, I'm a good person. Like I'd say, I've gone to therapy for years. I've done this, I've done all kinds of stuff. Of course I believe. Of course I deserve. And our unconscious is like, no. So we really want to understand what's true for it. Remember, when you have awareness, you have choice. Okay, so muscle testing. So I want you to get, we're just going to do it based on an income figure for right now. You can do this for everything, and I'll show you later how we do it for everything. Create an income. It could be, I bring in $50,000 this year. I bring in $10,000 a month. Make it shorter. Don't go, by the end of my lifetime, I've got $9 million. Don't do that. Kind of like create whatever an income goal is. So just think about a monthly, a yearly. Okay. Now the statement is, the words are not as important because some people say, I earn. Some people say my business brings in. Some people can say I receive. Whatever word that word doesn't matter. But just, so there's 5 places you want to write down. If you're writing, write affirmative or A, affirmative. The next word you want to write is safe. Let me see if I can chat this in for you. Permission. I'll just message everybody. How do I message everybody? I don't know how to message everybody. Anyway, okay. Affirmative, safe, permission, worthy, deserve. Okay? Okay. So that's what I want you to do. Affirmative, permission, safe, worthy, deserve. So basically affirmative is that I bring in $100,000. Safe is, it's safe to me to bring in $100,000. I give myself permission to bring in $100,000. See, thank you for writing that, Marie. I love having people on the call that are helping me out. Oh goodness. It's like we're taking the training wheels off for me to be on this technology. Y'all don't know how big this is. So, okay. The reason we do muscle testing is because, remember, your brain is what? Not your friend. It's going to trick you. It's going to lie to you. If you muscle test, you actually tune in to what your truth is. Your body isn't lying. And so we tune into the muscle testing, and that shows what's ringing true for you. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to hydrate. There's just a sip of water, so hydrate first. Yay. Beautiful. And we're going to need to stand up. Now, smartphones have an app for like a compass because you need to find where north is. The reason we do that is because the North Pole. Now, obviously, if you're doing your, the finger thing or pendulums, you don't need that. But if you're doing this is called like the pendulum. Like we're a human pendulum in this moment. So you need to find north. And now and I'm just going to do it. You're going to kind of lose me a little bit, but you're going to stand up. You're going to find north, and you're going to zip. So you're going to take one hand. Can y'all hear me okay? Take a hand, and you go up, and then down, and then back up. And that's the zip. And now what you need to do, now you need to get a baseline. So you need to get a yes and a no. And so what you're going to do, now, you know, you're not going to be like thrown on the ground, but what should happen if you're going to, so I'll do this. I'm going to say, my name is Therese, and if you notice, I go forward slightly. I say, my name is Amy, I go backwards slightly. I'm not making that happen. That's the energy that's moving me. So you want to say, my name is blank, and go back and go forward. So just test that for a second. See how that goes. All right. And then you also can do this. You say, show me a yes. Show me a no. See how that goes? It's really subtle. And you're not making it happen. Now, I want you to ask a crazy question. So let's just say, so I'm just going to say, I have 17 cats. Yes. I'm going to say, I have 2 kids. Yes. Wait, that was the no. I don't have 17 cats, by the way. That was a no. Okay, so y'all got it? You got it? You got it? Okay. Somebody's got, they're like, oh, gosh, and I just noticed my zipper was half undone. That's fun for the Zoom. Yay. Oh, Lordy. Here we go. This is Therese Unplugged and Unfiltered. Okay, so watch. I wanted to show you this because some of you guys that are doing it live with me, people get really like, I'm making it happen. I'm just making it happen. So I'm going to think something, and then you're going to test it, okay? So now just watch this. This is crazy. Okay, so in a moment, I'm going to think a thought that's going to be a yes or no for you, and you're going to test it. Okay, ready? So this is a thought I'm thinking. Go test now. Okay. Did you guys get a yes? No, no, really didn't. Okay, yes. The thought was, I'm on the webcast with Therese right now. So that should have been a yes. Arena, are you regularly getting yeses, or are you reversed? Okay, okay. All right. So if some of you are having trouble getting the directions right, that's okay too. So if you're like getting no, you guys can sit down. You're good. You can sit down. It's so fun to see people like standing up. It's like awesome. So if you're not getting a yes on the north facing, what you want is a baseline. So some people like for example, they'll go yes, but then their no is nothing, and that's still okay too. Some people lean forward on a yes, and then they kind of like, woo, they have like a weird hip thing. It doesn't matter. You just want to make sure that you know which is a yes, which is a no. Are we clear with that? Okay. Hold on one second. Let me just see if I can read this message thing. I got a yes. Okay, hold on one second. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, my yes was like diagonally right. That's okay, as long as it's always consistent. Marie, you were opposite today. Okay, it doesn't matter which arm we use, not at all, and you only have to do that once. Hey, Stephanie. My new Facebook friends. Yay, I'm glad you're here. This is cool. It doesn't matter which arm, and you only do that once. Let's see, what else? Yeah. My mom taught me to use a pendulum. Cool. Yay, Deb. That must have been a very cool mom to grow up with. So whenever I reach out to my boys, they're like, not your weird witch stuff. No, mother. But then they kind of like it. So I used to do that with my kids. They'd be like, I didn't eat the cookie. And I'm like, give me your arm. You're lying. So, well, yeah. All right. If something happens and you are like what they call reversed, either you're like not moving or you're getting weird answers, always start with more water. It's like, oh, that's what it is. Always go there. So also, if it doesn't work for you, tap the sides of your temples. And then the final thing is the cross crawl. You know what that is? Great. So if you are not getting the right answers, do that. There's also right here, there's that lymphatic point. You can just kind of like rub that a little bit. So do a few of those things. If you're practicing this and you're getting stuck, I'll have videos. I have a video that I could send you about if you're getting stuck. So FYI, I have a video to show you how to do this better. But anyway, here's muzzle testing. How do I use this? How and why do I use this? this is really important for everything. This shows the concept that I call resonance or alignment, right? Y'all know from law of attraction what resonance is and alignment. So if you're not resonating with something, you're actually what? You're repelling it, you're pushing it away. And so for me, for example, let's say I want to price something $5,000. I will send up and I will just say it's optimal, you know, it's optimal to price it at $5,000. What I do with my clients, for example, just think of a client that you, or project you wanted to sell. Marie, you should do this. You should do this, sister. So Marie has a really big contract that's getting kind of, some stuff's happening. It's not flowing well. So Marie, you muscle test and you say something is blocking me. So whenever there's something that you are not, it's just so that's an example. So you want to be taking notes like, okay, do I resonate with my goal? So I just did an income goal. You could do it with anything. But if something is, like for example, I want to start a mastermind group coming up, right? So what I will say is I resonate with 5 new clients in the mastermind group, yes or no. It's safe for me to bring in 5 new clients, yes or no. Now, what you want is the 5 yeses. It's got to be affirmative is like, yeah, you're in resonance. Yes, it's safe. Yes, you have permission. Yes, you're worthy. Yes, you deserve. You can ask a whole bunch of questions, but these are the basics. And then if you get all 5 yes, then you say something else is still blocking me. If you get a no, it's not safe. No, you don't get permission. That's where the work comes. That's where I don't have time in this call to go over that because it's very individualized. Oh, Marie, I do not have permission to work with this client. Boom. Okay, now if I can use, Marie's my client, so I can play with her here a little bit. So, boom. So you want to, here's a quick and dirty, ready? Muscles, mind, muscles, mind. So you muscle test, I have permission, it was no. Then you would go, holy crap. Why might that be the case? What's going on? Why might I not have permission? So then you get an answer, then you muscle test it. It's either true or not, because the goal is you want to clear that. Marilyn, yes. Yes, absolutely, yes, you can. I could talk about that too. Okay, so this muscle testing stuff is crazy amazing. Like I use it on everything, all my clients. And this is what I do when I work with my clients. I teach them this, and we work virtually. So I'm on the phone with Marie. I'm like, okay, test if this is an issue with your, I'm just making this up, carrying your brother's belief about you. Is that it? Yes or no? Test if it's that, yes or no, yes or no. And then we go in and clear what the block is. So is that good? Y'all got it? Okay, I want to move on because I have so much. So there's some of the things that might be holding you back. So remember the iceberg. There's a thing called a conflicting intention. And a conflicting intention is this. You say, I really want to do this, and there's a part underneath that's like, no. We don't know that. You don't know. Like, so Marie just got, it's not, I don't give myself permission to work with this client. Why? How would it not be safe? Sometimes I'd say, find the part in you, Marie, that is not feeling safe. Sometimes we carry other people's very often, we carry other people's beliefs or energies. So Marie muscle tests, this is somebody else's, yes or no. And it's like, holy crap. And it's okay, who? It's moms, it's dads, it's brothers, sometimes it's our ancestors. Sometimes it's the culture. So you want to just like, whose is it? And then you work to clear it. So are y'all following that? I mean, I know this, I'm taking like 10 minutes for something that could be, this is stuff like I'm having a live event in the fall, and we're going to do like a day on this. Like when I really get you in the room, we're like, we could go really deep. But in this, I can only do 10 minutes. So hopefully you got, I wish there was a summary of questions we might use somewhere. Yeah, that's a great idea. A great idea. Some place. The other day, somebody actually said, is there a rubric? And I'm like, what? A rubric? She goes, like a checklist, rubric. I'm like, Right, Google Sheets, yay! Yeah, can y'all tell that's not really my thing? So the other day when I was teaching, I actually had checklists. Like when I was in Denver, I had checklists. I was so excited because my brain doesn't think checklists, but questions are great. I guess we could come up with them, give them to my clients. Okay, so just understand that there's a conflicting intention. There's something underneath the surface that's saying, no, not safe, and then goes, boom. So you want to find, sometimes it's a part. The way it shows up is stop start. That is the best indicator. Either sabotage, stop start is my best, like, or my clients are like, they'll do all this activity, we strategize, everything's great, and then they're like, yeah, I didn't do anything in the last 3 weeks. What? And there's no shame. It's not like, you're a bad client or you're lazy. It's just something came in and just stopped you. Okay, here we go. Now, here's what you need to know. No amount of strategy, no amount of accountability, no amount of people kicking your ass and telling you you don't want it badly enough will overcome. I'm a wee smidge of a shame buster. I get very cranky when people don't treat y'all well. I get very cranky because there's mindset stuff that people are spreading messages, oh, you just don't want it badly. Well, you know what? I'm going mama bear here. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. You could want it so badly. You could be willing to spend your last dime. But if you are blocked, it's not even you. Now, it is your responsibility to clean it up. But there's a lot of coaches that do a lot of really bad shaming. And it makes me kind of crazy. Okay. So so we're going to move on. Is that good? Did you guys like that? And again, there's so much of that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. There's a whole lot. Like there's so much of that. So I'm just going to give you some tips that are easy and quick. Okay. Now some of them you might have heard, might have seen. Okay. Number 1, I want you all to do this. Stop collapsing. I feel like Pac-Man. So here's what happens. Remember? So you have the reticular activating system. You have all your filters. And so I'll tell you, when I was invited to Denver, it's like, holy shit. Oh, good God. Like I literally had 2 days. Like, ah! And my mind is like, ah! It's like, shh. Stop it. So you have to understand that your tendency is something happens, your brain fires out, you can't do that, who do you think you are? Da, 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 da. And then we just go, yeah, I know, I probably shouldn't do it. Y'all feel it, right? The energy of collapse. We collapse. What if you did not? Thank you so much, Nadia. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, because I've been like a ruthless pit bull about this lately. Like, oh, I'm not going to collapse. All my clients, I'm like, no collapsing, no collapsing. Hashtag no collapsing. But it really, if you understand, oh, that's just a thought. That's just a little gremlin. It's not some asshole. It's not the truth of me. What's the truth of me? The truth of me is I got everything I need. The truth of me is I'm perfectly on my path. That little thing is just, right? No collapsing. You have to override it. You got to take charge of it. So when I was in Denver and I do this is so much fun. Like when I do, you should see me live. You think this is good. Oh, wait till you see me live. I really, my big man crush is Cesar Millan, the Dog Whisperer. I love how he works with energy. He's just eye candy. But the way he works with energy related to the people and the animals, but mainly the people. And what he does with the animal, he'll go, or, I used to think, oh my God, it's so abusive. But what he's really doing is, like, that's just a state change. That's like, on a dog, he's not harming them. He's just going, oh, wait, you're thinking you're going over here, go over here. So this is a state change. Like, no collapsing. I want you all to see me go, so when you're feeling funky, you can even do it yourself. Like you must. This is the mastery. Remember I said in the beginning, I want you to become a better you. I want you to have more freedom. I want you to not to crumble when stuff gets hard. I want you to not to be like, I don't know, I have that great opportunity, but I don't. Stop it. No collapsing. Are we good? No collapsing? Yeah? Okay. Here's another thing that I just really, really, really love is Don Quixote in the famous movie Don Quixote says, facts are the enemy of the truth. Ooh, say it with me. Facts are the enemy of the truth. So I was running a group yesterday, and a woman was kind of she was in a shame spiral. She was in this, but I'm not enough. And she was really whacked. You know what I mean? We've all been there. I have been there, where you just can't, part of you knows you're like, I'm being a nut here, but you can't get yourself out of it because you're so sucked into it and it feeds off of itself. And it's just like this loop, right? What I do, so here's another energy alignment thing, is I rise above it and I say, what's the truth? These are the facts. Yes, you didn't get that client. Yes, money is hard. Yes, you're not. Yeah. And what's the truth? What's the truth? So for some people, that's a spiritual thing. The truth is, in this moment, you have everything you need. You are totally taken care of. If you can line up with the truth. For me, I always think the truth of me is what I know in my soul. Like, I went through a bankruptcy. I lost my freaking house, my car. I put my little kids through hell because of what I had to go through. And yet the truth of me was, no, I am greater than this. This is a situation. This is part of my journey. And I am to be a millionaire. I know it. Now, I don't know that I'm supposed to be a WNBA player. I'm 5'2", 57 years old. That's not my truth. But my truth is, I am supposed to help boatloads of people and make a bunch of money. That's always been my truth. So if I just know that maybe this is happening to me, maybe it's for me. You know what I mean? It's that, like Michael Beckwith says, maybe it's happening because I need this experience in this moment. So what's the truth? You need to have okay, if I'm in a bag of shit right here, I gotta what's the truth? Float above it, float above it, float above it. Got it? Okay. Another trick is what I call pull it in. I want you to pull it in. So this is kind of like an NLP exercise, neuro-linguistic programming. So imagine you're here in whatever state you're in. Let's say you're making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. But you know, as I know, where you're supposed to be. You know what's above. What you know, your soul knows. Your soul has called you. You're not making this shit up. You're on a mission. You have good work to do. You are supposed to be doing it. And imagine if the fully cooked version of you was about 10 feet in front of you. See that. See that version. Make that. When I was going through my bankruptcy, I'd sit in my office and I had this big white Post-it paper. And I wrote on it, I am a six-figure coach. No, that was not the case. I can barely pay my bills. But what I ended up doing is I would look at, okay, here's present reality, struggle. That's over there, truth. Which is really true? Ooh, because if we live in the world of energy, there is other dimensions, right? So yes, it was a fact that I was struggling. But I just said, that's not even, yes, that's a fact. Yes, I have to manage that. But the truth is that. The truth is that six-figure business, that influence, that me, that's the truth. Anything else, like talk to the hand, I'm not hearing it, right? But that really involves the no collapsing, because most of us collapse into the facts, collapse into the fear, and we can't see okay, this is temporary, that's the truth. So I want you to build a future, that you out there, Marie, that one that has permission to sign 20,000 and 30,000 and 40,000 contracts. That's oh, hells yeah. You got Marie. Of course you can. You know what I mean? So I want you to build that out there for you and literally begin to pull it into you. Pull it in. You could communicate with that other part of you, that one that's already, I always say, guys, it's already done. Think about that. If you knew that it was already done, you'd be I can't see it, honey. I'm sorry, it's too dark. So, so if you knew, here's what I say. So imagine this. Imagine you're cooking Thanksgiving dinner. It's oh my God, I go shopping and I gotta, there's so much preparation and it's crazy. I turn into a little stress junkie personally. So if you knew all that, you would have to work. Versus if you, Marie, I'm not seeing your sticky, sorry, it's too bright. Versus if you just go, oh, it's catered. There's a catered dinner in there. Awesome food. I think he was going to have a glass of wine, chill, hang out with the guests, because it's already done. It's already done. There, you see, it's already done. If you knew, imagine that the dream of yours, the business of yours, the goals of yours, it's already done because it is already done. You just got to become the person that steps into that. And you're going to, what I say, you got to be a good steward, obviously. It's growing into the person that can hold that bigness. Y'all got it? Another thing I do is I actually talk to the soul of my business. What? You talk to the soul of your business. For example, I'm having a live event in October out here, and it was between two venues. And I was like, well, this one's closer and a heck of a lot cheaper. Oh, God, that's so much cheaper and so much closer. And this one, and I said, okay, I don't want to make a decision based on money. So I just said, okay, visibility and money breakthrough retreat. Where do you want to be? And it was like, oh, hell no. Like it was like, oh, we want to be in the golf course. Like it was so clear when I asked the soul of the retreat what it wanted. You can ask the soul of your clients what they want. You can ask the soul, this is what I call spiritual marketing. This is what I do with people is like, okay, we can have a great idea. Tune into your business. What does it want for you? How cool is that, right? So if you think about it's already done, Deb said it has a Facebook page. I love that. Right on. And friends, it's got friends and a Pinterest board probably, right? So if you have a sense of like, okay, we don't collapse, it's already done. That future you, make decisions based on that, right? Instead of the decisions of scarcity and fear, you make the decisions based on the future you. Okay, let's see. Your job. I want you to learn, practice muscle testing. You got to make it a priority to do your inner work. Got to do your inner work. Like there is nothing more important than do the inner work. Now here's what I'm going to tell you. Some people say, God, I thought that I already did that. They'll say, how long do I have to do it? And I'll go, do you have a pulse? Cool, you got to keep doing it, right? And there's, whenever you get to a new level, like you could have things completely done, or so you think, or they're done enough. And then you get to a new level, it's like, wait, what? I thought I worked on this. What is this up for? That's good. That's actually good, because that means it's just cleaning more. So when you're ready to jump to the new level, guess what? The thing that got you to that level doesn't keep you at that level. It kind of goes away. And at times, that can be so flipping vulnerable. It can be so vulnerable. You're like, but it's just, you understand the cycle of life, right? If you look, I look to nature a lot. There's the winter when all the leaves fall off and it seems dormant. And then there comes the spring. Why would you not be any different? So if you understand that sometimes that's how things are going to flow. Okay, so I'm aware we're at the top of the hour, and I'm happy to keep going. But so I just want to check in really fast. I can open the lines if we all want. But here's the one thing I want to say, and I'll show you how I use muscle testing. So what I decided is there are some people that might be interested in working with me as a coach. I have a mastermind group forming. I have big products. I've got little products, and I'm just open if anybody's interested to have a phone call. This is not a sale, but if you are like, she'd be a cool mentor, so I want to open spots to talk to you because I have some space and I'm willing to do that. Now here, I'll give you an example of muscle testing. There's 3 options. One option is I send you to my calendar link, right? Option 2 is I send you to my web form so I'm just showing you how the muscle testing, how I do it. The other option is I just give you my email and say, hey, tell me what you want to do. So that's what I muscle tested. So I'll show you how I do it. I'll just say, okay, it's optimal to go to my calendar. No. It's optimal to go to my web form. No. It's optimal to just send an email. Yes. That's an example of how I make my business decisions. So if anybody is thinking, like, if you're kind of inspired, like, you know what, you might be a cool next mentor, and you're serious. This isn't just like, oh, in a free coaching session, because I don't have the time for that. But if you are actually serious about, I'm looking for some more support, we just learned that you have to get my email, right? It's Therese@happyinbusiness.com. But did you see? Okay, whoever put the calendar link, that's funny. All right, you don't have to do all those. Actually, take those two off. So it's just Therese@happyinbusiness.com. So if you want to have an appointment and talk about maybe some coaching together, just email me where you're at, what you're looking for, and we can have a conversation. Okay. So do you guys want to stick around? Like, I'm happy to answer questions. I can unmute you. I have more content. I've got a little bit more content. So we're going to stick around? Yes? Okay. Okay, perfect. And if you got to jump off, it's been so fun. So I would love, on the chat, feel free to put your takeaways if you got to jump off. But my plan is I want to keep going. So there's a concept I call the void. Hold on a second. And this is where it gets, wow, it gets really, really scary. The void is that space where you've done everything. You create a program, get everything right, and you send your little ships out, and then nothing happens. And that's where people freak out. That's where people that's where they collapse. That's where the fear kicks in. That's where the gremlins kick in. That's where doubts, that's where it just gets nuts. I'm going to answer that Kaya in a second, okay? When you're in that void, this to me is how you manage the void is how fast you bring money in. This is the manifesting place. This is the place of how strong are you going to be versus do you keep falling off. One of the very best examples of the law of attraction that I ever read was somebody says, okay, you say, this is what I desire, and you put your order in, and then you go, oh, it probably won't happen. You do that. Oh, wait, no, I can do it. Oh, but not me. That's when this happens. So in the void, there must be an understanding of the void. And if we go to nature, think about it. You till the ground, pull the weeds out, and that's what we do, right? That's what we're doing. We pull the weeds, we prepare the soil. That's the you becoming the best you. And then you put a seed in. And the farmer does not go every night and dig up the seed to make sure it's still there. And if you understand, the seed has an intelligence of its own that pulls to it all the nutrients it needs. Life is growing it even though we can't see it. Say that. Life is growing me. That's what you got to know. And that void can be scary as hell. It's just like, So what you have to understand is you must surrender, like, okay, how do I not collapse? So here's a couple of ways that I have found. Is the first one is you understand you don't collapse here. When you get the thought of, oh my God, it's there, right? You don't collapse in that void. Another one is, what's the truth? What is the truth? Everything is coming in the right time. I say God is my source. Whatever it is for you, I am provided for. Life is taking care of me. I have everything I need. Line up with the truth. Number 3, you notice abundance. Yeah, maybe you've heard my toilet paper story. It's kind of a funny story. When I was in my bankruptcy and was struggling with money, I literally went from having like a $12,000 a month income to $1,000. I think my lowest month was $700. It's rough to go from this to that. Didn't work to pay the house payments. It was very hard. So what I did one day, I don't know why, but I bought one of those massive quantities of toilet paper. It must have been Costco or something where, you like the 9 million pack of toilet paper. And for some reason, I went to the pantry and I was struggling so hard. And I was like, that is a lot. I was going to say shit ton of toilet paper, but that would be off color. I was like, wow. And I thought for a minute, like, I have a lot of something, because I had been focusing on the lack. And I'm like, dang, there's a whole bunch of toilet paper. There's an abundance of toilet paper. And then I'm like, you know what? have an abundance of love. I have so many friends. I have people my friends carried me through this bankruptcy. I had so much love. It's like, wow, I might not be wealthy with the commodity of money, but I'm wealthy with love. I have so many people that are loving me. Dang, I'm abundant. Then I started looking outside, like, I cannot count the trees. I cannot count the blades. So do you see how I shifted from what I don't have in the lack to like, wowza, look at that. Look at how much I got. The most is to line up with the truth and stay. One of my a client was just in a really bad place, really dark place. And I said, can you remember that it's already done? And you can be grateful that the solution is already done. Can you just like snap in for a second? Like, and when I was going through my bankruptcy, I literally had a friend call me every day to pray with me and to remind me, to help me align with the truth and the understanding that I was going to be okay. I couldn't pull myself out of it. I had to bring somebody else in. So I think that's a really important message. Got it? Okay. Oh, surrender without collapse. Service, not servitude. Yeah. Oh, I like this. Life is growing me. I'm glad you got that, Rachel. Alrighty. The dance of action and surrender. Y'all sometimes have that like, so there's the masculine and the feminine, right? Hold on one second, please. So the masculine is, and I was raised this way when I've been in this entrepreneurial space. I've been a life coach since 2001 and a business coach since 2005. So I've been around a lot and I've seen a lot of different trends. And in the beginning, it was like, just work like a dude. You know, I actually, I used to be like virtuous. I'm like, oh God, my assistants and I are up at 1 a.m. Skyping, doing work, and I felt like a suffering, struggling entrepreneur. So that's what we got to do to run a business. And I thought that was awesome, right? I got a lot of like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Okay, that was not good. Burned the adrenals, took time away from the kids, and there was a point where diminishing returns, more is not better. And so that dance of the masculine and the feminine. And so I had 2 pride points in my business. The first is when I made 6 figures, like, whoa, and the second one is when I said, I got to get off this merry-go-round. I'm just going to dump in everything because I can no longer work that way. I could prove to myself that I could do it, but it was sacrificing so much. So it's the dance of, if you work in the feminine, if you blend the both, there's the receptivity. Like the feminine is, think about the feminine, right? Things are planted and then the seed grows and then you act. So the feminine is waiting for inspiration. Like a lot of people say, what's your revenue plan? What are you going to do Q4? I mean, I could pull a marketing plan out of the air. And it means nothing until it's inspired, until it's like, oh, that's right. So it's really hard for me in some ways to plan my whole year because I kind of wait until I get the like, boom, that's what we're doing. I'll give you an example. When I was in my financial challenge, I was like, okay, well, they say that you got to be willing to pick up the phone. So I never teach cold calling. I hate cold calling. It's like personal hell to me. But I was like, all right, I got to be willing. And so I get my little phone and I sit down. I'm like, okay, God, show me who to call. I'm willing. I'm going to call. I'm going to make all these calls. And what I heard was, you're not to call anybody. You're to sit and wait. But my mind was like, I got to do something. I got to do something. I don't have the money. I got to do something. And it was, shh, you're to sit and wait. Because I don't know about you, a lot of women, Deb's waving, a lot of women have trouble receiving. A lot of women have trouble, like we're like pretend men. We like, I won't go there. I was thinking strap on for a moment. I shouldn't go there, right? Anywho, we just, you ought to see me live. I wouldn't filter it live. Anywho, so what we do is we turn into these, like that was the role model. It's like, well, that's what men do. They work 70 hours, just go, 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 go. Compartmentalize, cut off from family, cut off from emotions, cut off. And there's a lot of women, or in the early days of the internet, that was the model. And I love that the trend is changing to more of a feminine model that works much better with our enemies. Enemies? Well, that was a Freudian. Energy, much better with our energy. So that day that was like, I got to call. It was like, no, you're just going to sit and wait. By the end of the day, I think I had 3 speaking gigs because I could receive. So I had to break the pattern of I have to work this way. Do you feel that energy? If you notice energy, here's an energy trick. It's from Access Consciousness. Is it light or is it heavy? If it's light, I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to do, versus like, oh, crap, I got to call. I hate to call. Think of if I'm calling you like, hi, Stephanie. Yeah, I'm sitting going, hey, Stephanie, it's Therese. Did you want to coach with me? Like, that can never work, right? So you want to really work with the energy of, does this feel light or does it feel heavy? Truth is light. What's not true, what's not right is heavy. Make sense? And then the final thing is connecting to your why. This is where I go a little mama bear on you. Are you ready? When it's about us, we get neurotic. We get like, oh, but I couldn't charge. You know, when I was in Denver and sharing lately, it's like transactional versus transformational. A lot of us have this mindset of like, I couldn't charge X. Oh my God, I could. Oh, that would be like, I mean, to double my race. I could. It's about like, so whenever it's about you, your gremlin is gonna start chewing on your head, right? What if it's about them? What if it's about there's something that you are to deliver and you're willing to walk through flipping fire? I can cry when I talk about my mission. I cry. I talk about, I got to spare people from going through what I went through. I want my influencers to have influence. And I'm willing to lose all my shit to have that happen. I was blessed to go through that bankruptcy because I get to have you not. Like, that's a blessing to me. So you have to understand, like, what are you willing to go through? Who are you willing to be for them? Now, that's not a codependent, sucky codependent thing. That's a mission. I call my people mission-driven people. Y'all are mission. There's something in you that's like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. When it's bigger than you, when I tell my clients this, somebody's praying for you. Somebody's literally sitting out there praying for you. You are a solution for somebody. How dare you get scared to pick up the phone, right? So I want you to connect. This is like the fire in your belly. And this is where you just make it about them. Make it about them. All right. So here's a few questions at the end. And hopefully I'll be able to circle back and go to the group chat. Or I'll just open the lines and you guys can ask questions or something. If you were able to be even more powerful and grow your business, what needs to change? I'm giving you a whole bunch of ideas today. What needs to change? The next question is, who would you have to be? See, there's the doing and the being. And the doing is really important, but if you don't get the being part, it's not going to work. Well, I'm sorry. It'll be hard. It might work halfway, but it'll be really hard. And the last question is, how does staying the same serve you? What? I don't want to stay the same. Oh, there's a party that does. Yeah, there it is. So if you are consistently hitting a block, if you, for whatever reason, keep sabotaging or keep falling off or just ask, how is this perfect? How is this serving me? And your mind's going to go, it's not serving me. Like, shh, I know it's not logical. I get that. I know. But there's a part of you for which it is serving you perfectly. In the therapy world, we used to call that something gains. Oh my gosh, that was an interesting little moment. There's a gain. There's a gain that's happening. So maybe here you are, you're growing your business, but you have this really crappy marriage that you really don't want to deal with. But you can't deal with it because you like your business. Because if you had enough money, you could leave him. But you don't really want to leave him because then you have to, so it's maybe serving you, right? It's not a bad thing. It's just a conflicting intention. There's some part that's serving you. And the other thing is, there's the opposite of that. So I call it flip it on its head. I need to hydrate. Hold up. So if you were to flip it on its head, what would be the potentially negative thing that could happen if I got that? So it's just kind of a way to go in and find that unconscious, and then you can find where your energy is. Like, for example, you know, lots of people, my retreat, we're working on visibility. Shockingly, people have visibility issues. They have a hard time being seen. They're hiding. We're going to spend a bunch of time. That's what we're going to work on in the retreat. And imagine if you have visibility issues, it might just be perfect that you're not quite getting your business off the ground, because then you'd have to be visible. See, I mean, that's how it's serving you. And so you ask, like, what's the payoff, right? What's the payoff? Oh, there's no payoff. What would happen if you got it? Oh God, I have to get visible. You feel the energy there? Like wherever that's where the work is. Okay. This has been really fun. This has been just delightful. I love the people that I can see. I can see all your heads smiling and nodding and waving. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute everybody, and I would love to take questions, or to I would love to hear takeaways, questions. Because I haven't had the time. Truthfully, I haven't had the time to review the chat log, because what happens, it goes and then I lose it. It's like it's lost. I can find it later. I can get it later, but right now I'm like, So I'm going to unmute everybody. Okay, everybody's unmuted. Anybody want to ask a question? If you know you got a background sound, please mute yourself. Everybody's unmuted. So any questions anybody wants to ask? No?
I would.
No? No questions?
I would like to say,
Yeah.
is someone talking?
Somebody is. I think it's you. Go ahead.
I would like to say thank you for validating the feminine. That's very important to me.
Oh, that too. Like, even if I was single.
Yeah, there's background sounds. Marilyn, is that you that were talking about the feminine?
I was just not. The final.
Yes, it was.
For whatever reason.
Okay, you know what? I've unmuted everybody. Wait, I'm muted. All right. Okay, yeah, guys, too much. Sorry, I can't. I don't know how to get you to raise your hand or something. So I'm going to unmute Marilyn. So.
Okay, there's a thing that you can raise your hand. If you go to where we talk to you, you can tap on your name and you can raise your hand.
Perfect. Cool. Okay, so Marilyn, I have you if you want to share. Yeah, sorry, there's just too much background sound. We can't have everybody open. So Marilyn, did you want to share something?
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful for you validating the feminine. I was very grateful, and still am, in Denver about you validating who I am. I resonate a lot with you, and the energy and the acupressure and just a lot. And you're validating parts of me in my business and my life that haven't been validated before in a public way.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You made my day. You made my day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? You can unmute. Can you unmute? You guys unmute yourself, or did you raise your hand?
Just a sec.
Okay.
I went to your picture, and I have your picture in the middle of my screen, and I swiped my screen to the right, and it says tap to speak.
Perfect. Okay. Nice. Tap to speak. Tap to speak. Or if you want to put something in the chat box, I can just call on you. Okay. It says under participants. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Participants. Okay. Anybody else want to speak? Hello? I hear somebody.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said today, I mean, I feel like, you know, you'll understand everything I'm going through. Also, you know, I'm an empath as well, and I keep picking up so much of other people's energy, and it's making me crazy.
Yeah. Awesome. You know, so yes. Anybody else relate? Yeah, me too. Wow. Stephanie, thank you so much for asking that question, because I think the more sensitive we are, it's the gift and the curse, right? And so the curse of it is like, we do that. So what I do is, when I'm feeling funky, is I muscle test and say, I'm carrying something for somebody, yes or no. And then I have, you know, I use Archangel Michael or whatever to clear it. So you want to do that. Some people do protection, you know, they do the thing. I actually got, somebody taught me about, I put on like a superhero suit, just, you know, like an Iron Man kind of like, so in the morning I like, and then I intend that it doesn't, you know, I can go out, but it doesn't get in. So it really, it's part of the blessing and the curse, but make sure you're checking and clearing. So know if you're tired, if you start feeling like funkier thoughts, if you're in more doubt or energy. I was surprised. I did a really great, like 1,200 people class, and I was so excited, and I'm like this, yay! And then I just be like, oh, good Lord. And it wasn't like I was doing therapy. It was just teaching. I was really surprised at how much it affected me. And one of the people I go to get clearing, she said, yeah, they're sucking your energy. They're not bad. It's not like evil attachments, but every person's there kind of pulling your energy a little bit. So then what do? You know, get in the earth. I get massages, just that kind of stuff. So good question. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Any other question? So what do? We swipe? Anybody else? I think Marilyn said. Yeah.
Swipe to the right and then tap. Okay. Tap to chat.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions before we wrap up? Or what your takeaways were? I would love to hear that. Alrighty, I don't think we have anything else. So, wow, y'all, this has been so fun, so fun. I love the Zoom technology. It's great to see your faces. Thanks for participating. And if you have a specific question, feel free to put it in the chat log. I can, put your name and I can read it later. I apologize that I didn't get to go because y'all were working. I was like, I couldn't keep up with it all. And if anybody's interested in seeing, coaching, it's Therese@happybusiness.com. So. Unmute yourself, Deb. Talk to Therese. Does Deb want to talk? Where's Deb? I can unmute you. Hold on. Hold on. You're kissing me? You don't want to talk? You do want to talk? No? Okay. Okay. That's funny. Okay. Anybody else? Deb's being shy. My takeaway is 5 steps. Awesome. Kaya, I was thrilled I was on the call. Awesome all around. I learned more today. It's all sinking in. Yay, Kaya. I think we talk later today, right? Baby steps. Baby steps. Okay, perfect. Alrighty. So much love, many blessings, and thank you so much. You guys have just been, for my very first one, y'all have been awesome. So thank you. Thank you. Bye. Much love. Take care.